Our next fighter making his way to the cage, Derion DC Chapman.
Strap yourselves in, folks, and hold on to your hats. We're ready for a high-octane matchup in the 155-pound division between Derion DC Chapman and Jacobe Powell. DC Chapman making his way to the cage right now. The 25-year-old stands 5 feet, 10 inches tall. One of the lefties on tonight's card. His record is 1 win and no losses. That win coming back here at the U of MMA in May of this year. A round 2 TKO against Marvin Morales. A really impressive performance from the young prospect out of House of Champions MMA.
Yeah, DC looked amazing. Definitely, I found his ground to be his more technical aspect of his fighting, but not afraid to throw. Maybe keeps his chin a little high, but definitely not afraid to throw with that chin there at all. And I like that.
You know, we actually mentioned that chin the last time he fought, and DC before the fight today told me that he watched the video and he heard our comments and talked with his coaches, and he's worked on changing that, getting that chin out of the air.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough thing to do because it does feel like when you raise your chin, you're going to get more power. But I trained with Frank Shamrock. We had a drill. We would put towels under our chin, and we would spar with towels under our chin, and shadow with towels under our chin. That taught us to keep our chin tucked. So, Derion, if you're watching this after, maybe just put a towel under your chin.
Well, you know, he says he's been focusing on that. He's already been a good striker. You know, he's crisp, finishes combinations in different ways. He likes to finish off with kicks, which totally changes the timing of an opposing fighter, especially one who's just used to boxing.
Yeah, you know, it just comes with time. I'm sure my first fight I had my chin up in the air like crazy.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, Jacobe, the Problem Powell.
And his opponent in the red corner, 30-year-old Jacobe Powell, fighting out of Boss Rutten's Elite MMA, a team that's had lots of success here in the past at the U. Jacobe being part of that success. His last fight for the University of Mixed Martial Arts, a round 2 TKO against Gino Francisco. Now, since then, he had 2 losses, one a pancreation loss, one a mixed martial arts loss. But back in the win column in July, a round 1 KO against David Judd. And with all 3 of his knockout wins so far, it's been about that big right hand.
Yeah, he has a huge right hand, not afraid to throw it. Throws with a little reckless abandonment, but if you're gonna try to knock someone out, sometimes you gotta get a little reckless.
Yeah, you know, I mean, first fight, that 7-second knockout with a right hook. Second fight, a round 2 TKO with, again, the right hook landed. And then this fight against David Judd was an overhand right, so he definitely knows where his power lies.
You know, this is definitely one of the fights like we saw earlier tonight, Ramon Mendoza and Danny Garcia. We could have a quick fight because I have a feeling both these guys are going to come out guns blazing, and it's kind of a little bit of luck and who's willing to step into the pocket and throw him down the middle hard. And I would not want to get hit by one of Jacobe Powell's right hands, but Derion Chapman ain't got no weakness. He's a powerful dude. He definitely throws it hard, so we'll see.
DC said something similar. He said, he comes out fast, I come out fast. It feels like I'm fighting myself. You know, they do have similarities, but DC is the longer fighter, Jacobe is the bigger fighter. You might wonder how that could play.
Yeah, he's a little bigger, and he can also he's got some reach on him. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Our next fight is brought to you by bodybuilding.com, scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the 135-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter. He comes to the cage with a record of 1 win and no losses. His 1 win coming by way of knockout. He stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing at 154.4 pounds, representing the House of Champions from Reseda, California, Derion DC Chapman. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a freestyle fighter. He brings an impressive record to the cage with 4 wins and 1 loss, 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing at 155.8 pounds, fighting with Boss Rutten's Elite MMA and the Muay Thai Academy from Los Angeles, California, Jacobe, the Problem Powell. Man in charge of the action, Derek Guard.
Get ready for a barn burner here at 155 pounds. Two high energy, high impact fighters. Derion DC Chapman in the blue, Jacobe Powell in the red, and DC immediately starts throwing fast, but that spinning back kick, Jacobe Powell takes advantage, puts him on the mat.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with stuff. He's lucky he ended up back in guard, because I think Powell wants to be on top, and throwing stuff like that, you got to be a little careful. There's a big risk factor, but you
got to look
risk
at
reward.
Yeah, you have to also be impressed with the way that DC got back to his feet there. He was, he was really under a bigger guy in Jacobe Powell and used his leverage to get himself back on the feet, and now in an advantageous position.
Totally, and that's what I love about these two-minute rounds, is that it teaches you to not waste any time and pounce back up, and not really, if you're not comfortable in position, change it immediately and don't let things happen. Change them yourself.
A lot of hand fighting here right now. Both guys trying to find purchase to get leverage. So far you have DC with an underhook on the right-hand side, and Powell trying to control the left wrist.
Yeah, and Powell seems to be, that's going to get him taken down. He was wrapping his leg around the opponent's outside leg. It's really not going to do much for your leverage or takedown. Just kind of makes it a little easier to get taken down, actually.
So DC here trying to turn Powell so that he's up against the cage, get a better position.
Yeah, so here we're in a guard with an overhook position, so
a very quick stand-up from the ref here.
You know,
and they come out swinging quickly, wasting no time back in that clinch. You got to wonder a bit, though. That stand-up did seem a bit hasty.
It did, especially because that is a very good. What just happened? Was that a groin shot?
That appeared to be a low blow here. You know, of course it was inadvertent. DC isn't a dirty fighter by any means, but that one looked like it really got him. I don't know if I've seen someone fall from a low blow that hard in a really long time.
Yeah, that seemed to be a bad one. Not a very good, not a good one. So he has 5 minutes to recover here. He, you know, after a groin shot, sometimes you need 5 minutes, maybe you need 20 minutes.
You know, I used to be a soccer player years ago, and you take one of the shot to the ground every once in a while. We would really focus on trying to push the pain down and keep on running, which is interesting. You know, you don't have the ability to take a time off. I know you can see that one. Yeah, that left knee just lands right on the proverbial lower button. Oof.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it shows you that even though if you wear a cup, really doesn't help it like as much as it probably should.
Well, you know, the cup prevents significant damage. You know, the cup at least prevents things from being squished beyond repair, but it definitely doesn't prevent that initial impact pain.
You know, I used to fight in a Muay Thai steel cup, which is probably the safest and best cup to wear. It's made out of metal, and
17 seconds left. They both come out kicking fast. And Jacobe has a fire lit under him now. Look at him swinging out, going for an arm-in guillotine. Can DC last these last 10 seconds without tapping?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Wow, wonderful prognostication there, Andrew. That was just fantastic.
Well, was that a rhetorical question, or did you want someone to answer it because you're speaking to me?
That is true. You know, you never know. So right now, you got to wonder what boss is telling Jacobe Powell in the corner right now. You know, definitely a little bit of pain there, but it seemed like Jacobe was able to channel that appropriately, coming out really firing for those last 17 seconds.
Yeah, and I think that's the way you should come out if someone needs you in the groin. You know, a lot of guys come out and tap hands and stuff. No, you got knee in your groin, I'm going to knock you out right now. That's the mentality you kind of should have. It should draw some fire in you. If fighting someone doesn't draw fire in you anyway, groin shot might do it.
You know, one thing there's been no shortage of so far, but we haven't seen land totally effectively yet, are these kicks. Both guys have thrown really, really aggressive shots with their legs. And I wonder if we'll see more of that here in round number 2.
I hope so.
Yeah, you know. Everybody loves a kick, except for the one being kicked.
Boxers don't like kicks from what I hear, too. Not everyone.
Round number 2 here, and there's a front kick right out the gate from DC. That was a big kick. DC quickly to the mount, doing his best to take advantage of the shock The ball of that foot landed right on the face of Jacobe Powell. But, you know, he still seems like he's got his faculties. I think it stunned him for a moment. Jacobe doing his best trying to move his hips and get out of this position. But DC very, very tight and heavy on the top.
Yeah, that kick definitely hurt him, and he's trying to do a good job of containing this left arm so he could rain down free strikes. But Jacob's doing a good job of controlling the arms and not letting these strikes come through too much. Locking in some overhooks and just moving his hips and making a shot. Not the easiest.
And there goes Chapman for an armbar. That looks pretty deep. He's really torquing it, and that's the fight. Derion DC Chapman with a really fast, beautiful armbar here in round number 2 of this 155-pound fight.
Wow. We have an amazing celebration going on in the corner here. But that was a great transition to armbar. Very good time to do is when a guy extends his arms when you're in a mount and you transition because you get a free arm extended towards you. You don't have to do much work besides put the foot over the head, put your knees together, and lift your hips up.
That was an extremely good transition. You know, we were talking earlier about the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling. You can see we have Powell turning to his side here, and the moment that arm comes loose, DC is just all over it. And that's Jiu-Jitsu 101. When he turns to his side, hook that arm and put your hips down and lean back.
Yep, and that's what we have right there. You know, there's not too many ways out of that. You know, when your hand is, when one arm is getting armbarred and your other hand is nowhere near that hand that's getting armbarred, you're probably gonna get a tap. It helps to have those hands close together because you can lock your hands and possibly get out, but that was clearly not the case there.
DC going over and saying thank you to Jacobe and to Boss. You know, really, really tough for Jacobe Powell. You have to wonder, you know, now he's still on the ground right now. You have to wonder how much that groin shot took out of him. It might have changed things, you know, but you can't take anything away from the way that DC reacted in round number 2 with that really powerful front kick early in the opening moments.
I think that's what that's a fight changer right there. That is what changed. That is essentially what led into the armbar. The kick got him down. He got the mount. He transitioned, got the win. You know, we talked about the kicks could be key. We spoke before the round. I think we got one. That was pretty nice.
Well, Derion Chapman moving to 2-0 now. Jacobe Powell, his official camel record moving to 4 wins and 2 losses. You know, Jacobe did get caught here, but I don't think he could take anything away from him. I think he fought a really, really great fight and just ran into a couple of tough moments. But for now, let's go to our official decision with Salvador Arellano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the third man in the ring, Derek Guard, brings a fight to halt 48 seconds into the second round. Your winner by technical submission due to an armbar out of the blue corner, Derion DC Chapman.
Nice to see you too, Derion. That was a great fight. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. I was coming out here against an opponent. We call him the Dragon. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the kid to come out here to slay the dragon. I feel like I came out here and did what I was supposed to do. We came out here, dictated, dominated, and did what we need to do, man.
All right. Now, from what I hear, crotch shots are pretty painful. How aware were you that you needed to end this fight knowing that you may have just poked the dragon?
Honestly, that wasn't intentional. I thought I hit him on the inside of the leg. I think it grazed up and hit that area, but I don't really want to talk about that. You know, regardless, I felt like I was winning the fight from the beginning, so it is what it is.
It was definitely an impressive performance. There's a lot of people here that are really happy to see you with the W in the winner's column. What do you want to say to them?
Hey, we're just 2-0. Let's keep running. If we can get a fight every month, man, from here on out, man, that'd be great. She don't try to make that run to go pro, man. This right here is just a stage, man. It's all it is. Everybody out here, every fighter that comes out here, just make sure you come out here, you make it happen, man. The crowd ain't nothing but fuel to feed you. That's it. Nothing else. Thank you, families, for coming out here. Mama, I know you were scared to watch me fight, but I appreciate you coming out. Thank you. And I love you, baby. I see you out there in the crowd. All right, my dance crew, you already know, House of Champions once again. We came out here, we represented like we need to. That's it, that's all. Thank you guys very much.
Give it up for your winner, Derion DC Chapman!
Your winner by armbar in round number 2, Derion DC Chapman.